Money. It affects our everyday life. But how do we make more of it? Manage it. And make sure we make the most of our money. Welcome to Money Mindful, a podcast to teach and support you as you learn to manage your money.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to episode 21 of the Money Mindful podcast, how to help yourself win. Did you tune in last week? How good are Paul and Janine? I loved having them on the show. If you didn't listen last week, I will just give you a little recap. Paul and Janine are the authors of the book Spenditude, and we are currently in the process of doing a giveaway of their book. You'll need to go back and listen to the episode, and then you can go in the running to win their book by joining the Money Mindful Ladies Club email list. You need to go to moneymindful.com.au/subscribe, or you can hit the little icon on the homepage to subscribe. And once you have subscribed to the email list, send us an email and tell us, are you a spender, a slender, or a defender? And which one do you want to be? And if you have no idea what on earth I am talking about, you better go back and listen to last week's episode. And of course, I will remind you that the first book club session will be happening on the last Tuesday of this month. That's at 8:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, the 31st of March. And on the Facebook Live, I will be revealing who is the winner of the books. So tune in to find out if you've won and also be part of the book club. Very excited about that. I'm releasing news regularly to the email list and also on Instagram and Facebook about that. So keep in touch and make sure you're on the email list so you don't miss out on any news to do with the book club or how to win the Spenditude book. Okay, let's get into it. How to help yourself win. Have you ever been in a situation where you signed up to the gym and didn't go, or decided you were going to get your financial shit together finally and start saving, but somehow you always seem to have a bill due or you just couldn't get started? Or you made a start on that new goal, whatever it was, but it just felt too overwhelming. You just couldn't manage to go for that run every morning because you were too tired and up all night with your kids. I know I have for sure been in these situations. Today, I want to teach you a concept that is going to put an end to this and change your life. Yes, that is right. If you apply what I teach you today, you are literally going to change your life. And it is going to happen so subtly that it will take you by surprise. You won't believe how easy it is. In fact, I would hazard at a guess that it is so easy that some of you might not actually value the gold that I am going to give you today. I have alluded to this concept and touched on it in other podcasts, but today I want to really dig deep and give you the full rundown. This isn't an original idea. I got inspiration for this from a variety of sources, from a coaching session I was in once and a podcast on a similar topic called Minimum Baseline, which I've mentioned before on previous episodes. I'll put a link in the show notes for you. If you want to achieve some new big goal or develop a new habit, you are going to want to hear what I have to say today. So let's get started. When you want to start a new habit, for example, saving or paying off debt or an exercise regime, often we get these big lofty dreams, right? For example, we say to ourselves, I'm going to save for my emergency fund and I'm going to put away $200 a week. But this is coming from a place where you are right now, and that is that you've never saved before, right? So when you go out every other night, by setting these unrealistic goals, you're setting yourself up for failure. Suddenly, overnight, you're going to become this person who doesn't go out or spend any money and save it all. And then you wonder why after the first week it all feels too hard and you give up. And then all this negative self-talk comes into play. Oh, I've always been terrible at saving. This is too hard. I'm no good at this. But you're trying to change your behavior from being someone going out every night to suddenly not going out every night and saving. It's not realistic, right? So it's not true that you're not good at it. It's not the case. I'm not saying it's not possible to turn your life around overnight, but for most people, this is not possible because you are not meeting yourself where you are at. It's very hard to take a giant leap to a new habit or goal that you have, but to get there in little steps at a time is so doable. You are completely discounting the fact that currently you spend all your money going out 4 nights a week and living paycheck to paycheck. You don't have a savings habit. It's something you've never done before, and yet you expect that suddenly you can do it without addressing where you actually are in the present moment. Because in the present moment, you want to spend all your money. In the present moment, you don't have a savings muscle, in inverted commas. It's like the first time you go to the gym and you expect to have a 6-pack after day 1. It's not going to happen. You have to build up to that. So going back to meeting yourself where you are at, saving $200 a week feels like too much. But what about saving $50 a week or $25? And I'm not even kidding, what about saving $5 a week? Okay, and obviously this is a completely fictitious example, but I know that you can follow along. Okay, so let me tell you a story. This is actually a real story. So at the beginning of 2019, I joined a self-coaching program. And in one of the first coaching sessions, the coach said something along the lines of, I know you're going to want to go all in and work on everything every day, but just remember, a little plus often equals a lot. I'm just going to say that again because it's so good. A little plus often equals a lot. And she said something like, just do 10 minutes a day of the coaching exercises or something like that, and you'll be amazed at the results that you get. This really stuck with me. And when I was planning a new goal for myself to do yoga every day, this was a goal that I had last year, I took this advice on board and it has literally changed my life. I wanted to do yoga every day because I was booked into a kids yoga teacher training course and I wanted to improve my practice. Well, instead of making a mega commitment I knew deep down I wouldn't keep, for example, doing half an hour of yoga every day, I did something really radical and decided to meet myself at where I was at and help myself win. Because at that time in my life, I was mega in mum mode and I was also working, and doing half an hour of yoga every day was not realistic and it was nowhere near the amount that what I was doing, but I wanted to develop a daily practice. So I thought about what was realistic for me at that point in my life. What did I feel was possible for me to achieve? Well, it was to do 5 minutes of yoga every day. Now, I know what you're thinking. 5 minutes? That's nothing. Because that's kind of where I was at too. And yes, it's not much at all for me, but the magic was that I wanted to help myself win. I wanted to develop the habit of doing yoga every day. And if I had set myself a goal of half an hour a day, I know I wouldn't have stuck with it. It was way too far away from where I was at that point in time. I knew that unless something major happened, like an emergency, I was pretty sure I could commit to 5 minutes a day. So that's what I did. And here's what happened. Most days, I did more than 5 minutes. And on the days I wasn't feeling it, it wasn't that hard to get myself to do it, as I was thinking, it's only 5 minutes, I can do this. For 5 months, I did not miss a day. And then I fell off the wagon. I had a month where we went on holiday and I lost focus. But guess what? I had gotten so used to doing it every day, I had built that muscle, figuratively speaking, that I just didn't make it mean anything. And I picked right back up from where I left off. By the end of the year, sure, I missed some days. But the thing is that I did more yoga last year than I have ever done before. And I built up so much trust in myself to actually follow through and believe that I was going to do what I said I was going to do. I can't even tell you how powerful this is. When you are regularly letting yourself down and not doing what you say you are going to do, you lose confidence in yourself, your abilities, and quite frankly, you just don't trust that you are going to commit to your goal. So why bother, right? I know you understand what I'm talking about. We've all been there. We've all set goals where we just haven't stuck to it. And it erodes our confidence when we do that. So going back to our example of the wannabe saver, what if they just committed to putting away $5 a week? Okay, so the wannabe saver, currently they go out, every other night of the week and have drinks with friends after work. They usually spend all their money and buy that latest top when they walk past the shops on their lunch break. So going to $200 saving a week is currently not realistic for them, but they think, hey, $5 is about the cost of a coffee. I'm pretty sure I could put that away without really noticing it. $5, that's nothing, and that's the point for them, right? So they put that $5 away because it's absolutely no big deal. They won't miss it. And before you know it, they start thinking, you know what? I might put $10 in this week or $30. You see, you have to meet yourself where you are at and allow yourself to have some wins and build your confidence and trust in yourself to follow through. After doing that yoga last year, this year when I decided I wanted to start doing an exercise program at home, I didn't have any hesitation to do it. None of the negative self-talk or disbelief that I would actually stick to it, because I had helped myself win. And by doing that, I had built trust with myself that I would commit and do it. The exercises takes me about 20 minutes every morning. I just do it on the weekdays, so 5 days a week, and I'm all in. It's a step up from my 5 minutes of yoga, but that's okay because I'm meeting myself at where I'm at right now. My minimum baseline of the 5 minutes has increased. And again, I'm helping myself win. I'm doing a little bit often, which adds up to a lot. Now, the first time you do this, trust me, you are going to be tempted to think that 5 minutes a week or $5 a week, that's ridiculous. Why bother? I tell you why. After committing to something for a year and actually doing it, or for 6 months, however long you decide to commit to it, you will be a different person at the end of it. You will build a trust with yourself that you didn't have before. You will begin to trust that you will do what you say you are going to do. Your minimum baseline will increase. After a while, it won't be $5 a week anymore. It'll be $50 a week or whatever it is for you. I'm just picking these numbers out of thin air. I know everybody's in a different financial situation. So just to recap here, what's important for you to take away from today is set yourself a minimum baseline that you really think you can stick to and achieve. Help yourself win. You want to start saving? Okay, do it. If $50 is realistic for you, great. But if you think, you know what, I reckon there's going to be some weeks I'm not going to be able to do the $50, then make it $25. If you still think that might be a challenge, okay, just start with $5. Just do whatever it is that you truly believe that you can do and that you will stick to. Number 2, keep doing it. And remember, a little plus often equals a lot. You are so much better off doing the minimum amount than doing nothing at all. And I just want to give you a little reminder. For those of you who are regular listeners, you would have heard me mention this before, but I set a little goal about 5 years ago. I wanted to save money for my daughters for the future. $30 a fortnight was what I believed I could stick to, my minimum baseline. And when daughter number 2 came along, I did the same. And so towards the end of 2019, I invested $6,500 into an index fund because it just built up. That's how much I had. And at the time of recording this podcast, I now have close to $7,500 invested after just 5 months of investing that money. And I just invested a little often. And now I'm reaping the rewards. So decide what it is you want to do. Set a minimum baseline for yourself. Then just do that little thing often. Reap the rewards. I'm telling you, this is so powerful. It will change your life. I would love to hear the goal you set and what your minimum baseline is. Email me at Meaghan, MEAGHAN, at moneymindful.com.au. I would love to cheer you on. Do this for yourself. It will change your life. All right. Until next time, have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Money Mindful podcast. For more info, visit moneymindful.com.au. For future episodes, be sure to subscribe. And remember, the information in this podcast is of a general nature only and does not take into account your personal circumstances or goals. Please seek professional advice for your own financial needs. Remember to have fun along the way.